The show tonight is titled, Peen is a Weapon. It's a weapon used to conquer.
Good day, good day, good day. CRUCIAN Mahogany here, and welcome back to my channel. If you've been following me, you probably see a few months ago I posted a rack of videos, a whole list of videos explaining about the different diseases and infections and yuckiness that comes out of having intercourse with males. Today, I wanted to complete this series. I had someone who I know for some number of years. She direct messaged me in reference to my series, and I'm going to read to you her message, and I will respond to everybody because I'm sure some of you may have the same questions she had. I'm going to just go ahead and read that to you, respond to the message so you can get a clear understanding of my reason for going on this informational series. She says, "Hello, so I watched your videos. Now, sex has been around since the start of time, and there's always been problems, diseases, etc. And this is educational." Now, she says diseases, etc. In my videos, I talked about the diseases. Let's talk about the etc. Ladies, did you know that when a male ejaculates into you, you are taking in a lot more than just seminal fluid and diseases? Look at this article. It's called Sperm Competition and the Evolution of Seminal Fluid Composition. We're going to read just a small portion of this article. We're going to use some critical thinking also when we read this article, just so we can make sure we're clear in what we're reading. You know, sometimes you could read something and don't understand what you're reading, but we're going to make sure it's very clear. Male ejaculates include large amounts of seminal fluid proteins that influence male sperm competitive success. In spite of their diverse proximate functions, the sperm competition increase male fitness in one of three ways. Number one, avoidance. Avoidance proteins help males avoid sperm competition. Number two, defense. Protein helps males defend their sperm from displacement by the female's subsequent mate. And three, offense. Proteins aid males in displacing sperm of preceding males. Now, this article is coming from a male focus, meaning it's focusing on its competition, the sperm's competition with other males. But we're talking about, in general, the seminal fluid, and of course, this is specific to male sperm. But let's think about what that means, ladies. This is telling you that the sperm itself contains proteins that prevent avoidance, prevent defense, and also gives offense. So the sperm itself, along with the seminal fluid and the proteins that are associated with that, they come along to also do the same offense, avoidance, and defense of any proteins within your womb, ladies, that could offense, or meaning give defense against the sperm and the seminal fluid. Anything that could help protect you internally from the defenses of said sperm and seminal fluid. And if you think that this is something trivial, let me show you a video. Of course, some of you might not believe me. I'm just a simple young lady from the islands who's sharing some information with you. But a lot of you are, obsessed with your pastors, etc. So here is a video from a pastor. Let him tell you a little bit more about how detrimental this could be to you and your life.
Ladies, listen to me. I know so many things I'm afraid to even think about what I know. I was talking to a sociologist and a psychologist together at the University of Tulsa. We were sitting in a room talking, and they were the professors in the school. And they were talking to me about the impact of sex from a man on a woman. One of them was not only a psychologist, but she was also a born-again theologian. And it was the most amazing discussion. They said that they have actually shown that when a man has sex with a woman, he doesn't just transmit sperms, but he transmits his history to the woman's womb. And they were saying that the woman's womb is where the man came from. And because of where he came from, he's always longing to go back there. And he goes back there to deposit everything he is back into the womb. And this is why a woman, they say, could be wonderful, and then she marries a man or even sleeps with a man she ain't married to, any man, and she thinks it was only sex. And she walks away with a history in her vagina. I sat there, I was afraid. They said they have psychologically dealt with many, many cases where women pick up strange mental problems after sex with a man. No wonder why most prostitutes commit adultery. Commit suicide. They carry so many histories. Here's my point I walked away that day with. You may be a good woman, but if you marry a man who has these spirits harassing him, and he gives you a sperm that becomes a child, everything is transmitted to you and the child. So I talked to the psychologist who was a theologian. I said, so what do you do? She says, you can't just counsel these people. She said, they need deliverance spiritually also. A psychologist, professor, doctor. She said, because it's not just psychological anymore. Why is my son like this? Depends on where he came from. God's word. The seed of the righteous is blessed. Which means it's possible to have the seed of the unrighteous, which is cursed. I close this series with a clear instruction. Today, by the authority invested in me, every spirit that has entered your life through the actions of your fathers, known or unknown, will be broken today.
Now, I played that video to the end. Of course, he has no authority to break any curses. He is just a man. But I hope you listen to what he said, because you can find evidence, if you look for it, that corroborates exactly that what he says. When you are having intercourse, you are not just taking in sperm, semen, and diseases. You are taking in that man's energy. Energy means all those chemicals that he has within him. So those chemicals translate to his thoughts, his feelings about himself, and his feelings about you. It means you may think that you're the one that's depressed, but no, you're taking on that man's depression. If you have bad mind, and you wondering why you thinking you have, anger issues all of a sudden, yeah, let's see who you're sleeping with. We find women who do some horrible things to their children and to others. Women that were fine until she gets hooked up with a certain guy. Ladies, we're taking on their entire essence. That is what's happening when you interact with a man. Now we go back to my DM, right? We continue. She says, so what are you to do? not have sex? Be selective on your partners? Have you both checked for any of these diseases before you partake? How is one supposed to carry on? What do you do? Maybe do another on the subject of how to enjoy the steps to take, because this is a downer. Yes, ma'am, it sure is a downer, but truth is truth. And if you want to live in ignorance, go right ahead, be my guest. But I am here to share this knowledge, this information with you. Did you know, or do you even consider, ladies, that you do not have to have sex? And even if you do have sex, there are ways to have sex without having ejaculate inside of you. I'm expressing the knowledge of what seminal fluid does to you. Are you that addicted? Are you that addicted to this fluid, which is actually one of the things it does do? It lowers your defenses. So in a way, you do get dickmatized. We do know of this. We know of people who we consider dick crazy. It lowers your defenses, but do you think that you have to have sex? I mean, unless you are trying to have a child, there's no reason to have sex. You've been taught otherwise. You've been, quote unquote, liberated into the idea that sex is your focus. Don't you have other things to do in life? And sure, if you want to have a little fun, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I just like to let you know, ladies, that peen is a weapon. It is a weapon used to lower your defenses so that you will take whatever a man will give. Everything.
And a lot of women are getting fucked up behind penis because women are messed up on a lot of levels. They don't understand men. That's their number one fucking problem. They don't understand the psychology of a man. They don't understand the biology of a man. They don't understand nothing about men. And then they also don't understand love. They do not understand these two things, which gets them in the most fucked up situations. But I'm here to show you how penis is a weapon. Men, before I say that, the reason why women are preaching or rallying for equality, because patriarchy has poisoned and destroyed the woman. Her perception on reality has been altered so greatly that she is unaware of her true position on this planet. She has been brainwashed greatly to believe that she is beneath the male and that the male is ahead of her. So instead of accepting her natural place as actually being in front of the male, she is trying to prove that she's equal to the male because she feels that she's behind and she's trying to catch up, which makes her stop, right? But the reality is that she's ahead of the male, right? And men need women to be ahead of them because men have no internal governor on their behavior. They need a governor and they depend on women to govern their behavior because they won't govern it by themselves. This is why they blame you for everything, but the male can't even figure out why women are acting the way they're acting, and it is all because of patriarchy and both parties being completely brainwashed, right? And the perception on reality altered too greatly to the point that neither one of them can come to sensible or rational conclusions, and they fucking pointing the finger at each other, right? So don't connect it to no other experience. Everything is connected, and there is no such thing is useless information. There's no such thing as pointless information. There's no such thing as isolated information. Everything is connected. You got to learn to connect the dots of life to be able to create a big picture. So, y'all better learn how to start paying attention, because everything that you want to know about anything is literally right in front of you. This is my rifle and this is my gun. This one's for fighting and this one's for fun. That penis, this my gun. Shoot the club up. Baby, that ain't just no saying. That is not just a saying. And I've told you that sex is not the gateway. Your mind is the gateway. And then they use sex to cement you in after they done got in your head. This is why, think about it. There's a reason that the church forbade women to preach. Because the most sacred place is what's between your ears. Who you listen to and who you pay attention to will shift your perception on reality. Tell a lie enough times and you begin to believe it. I want y'all to hear this loud and clear. I'll put my TV back on now. I'll make sure I play it from the very, very beginning.
And this is the first time she let you come through. You know what I'm saying? You gotta hit her at her house the first time. This is the only way the plan is gonna work. So you get her to let you come over there and hit her at her crib. You dog it down. You feel me? Beat the doonies all the way down. You feel me? And then fall asleep. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta make sure it's on a day that you know she gotta go to work in the morning. You feel me? So you come over there, kill it, fall asleep. If she wake up in the morning and just go to work and don't wake you up and tell you to leave or nothing like that, then just don't never leave.
And y'all will fall for this shit. You'll fall for it because you are disillusioned behind love. This is why it's important for me to teach you and show you that men are incapable of love, because baby, once you see that men are incapable of love, you won't fall for this shit no more. You won't fall for it. But as long as you keep believing in love, which is the power tool that men use to dupe you, if you keep believing that love is some fucking mystical shit that ain't got no real explanation, as long as you keep believing that, they are going to be able to get into your head and make you feel like they love. But if you know unequivocally that they are incapable of love, you'll be able to spot the game from a mile a motherfucking way. What did he say? When you get in her house, the first thing that he did was what? Give her some good sex. Men use sex as a power tool because they are trying to get their needs met at any way, shape, form, or fashion, and they will use whatever to their advantage. And most of the time, it's their appearance and sex. They do not connect with you through sex unless they have developed some type of care for you. Men are only capable of caring. That is it. Let me tell you something. Caring is an emotion. Caring is an emotion. Emotions change from second to second, minute to minute, hour to hour. Today you can care about some shit and tomorrow don't give a fuck about it. Love don't work that way. Love does not work that way. Men are not capable of love. And what you think is love ain't nothing more than a male caring about you, which could be temporary. Because, baby, emotions and feelings change.
She found it important to let me know that my viewership dropped off from when I started because most people do not want to know, and without a light at the end of the tunnel, so alternatives. If you agree with her, you can surely stop watching my videos. But for those of you that actually think, use reason, are logical, and don't just let your emotions steer you hither and thither. I'm doing these videos for you. And if you want to see the light at the end of the tunnel, yes, if you want to see the light at the end of the tunnel, you're going to have to first clear your mind. Clear your mind, clear your bodies. Recognize what I'm saying is truth. Look into it for yourself. Detox yourself from the exact thing that is probably causing your disturbance, your misunderstanding. Now, I know this can be a hard pill to swallow, but life is just like that. It gives us some things that we just don't always understand, and then we're like, wait, my whole life? I didn't know this was what it was. But it's okay. Hopefully you find this video interesting. If you made it this far, please subscribe to my channel. I will be sharing more and more content with you, and I hope that this video made sense to you. Whether it did or not, please share your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Later.